All right, the Flyers a 1-point lead. Richmond the basketball. 52 seconds left to play. That kind of sets the table for you.
Dayton going man-to-man. Frank Iguodala in the game now for defensive purposes. And Sean Finn is on the bench.
Richmond with the ball. That's Tony Dobbins. High screen. O'Malley, there's Scrocky. Scrocky looking for a shot, gets it. Tough shot. Scrocky took Mark Jones, and Jones played great defense on him right there, but Scrocky just hit the shot.
Played very good defense. Richmond ran a little pick and roll action and sent Scrocky down the block, and then he just replaced himself out on the wing, but he's tall enough to shoot over a Mark Jones. There we see right there. Now watch him wheel off right there. Look at the size difference. Jones stands his ground, but Scrocky gets a great look because he's a 6'5", 6'6" kid that can jump over the 6'2" Mark Jones. Now for the Dayton Flyers. Typically in late game, you run pick and roll for Ramad Marshall. Ran it the last time for Warren Williams, who picked up his dribble. I think this time you got to get a little flow. Get ebb and flow to and fro from one side of the floor to the other. Let Walskowski and Finn work their tails off down low to gain the unfair advantage down low at the block.
Flyers with the ball, trailing by 1. 40 seconds left to play. Keith Walskowski leads Dayton with 19 points. He's been big here in the second half from the free throw line. And Keith Walskowski is our foreign exchange player of this game, and we hope that he scores at least a couple of 3 more points before it's over with.
Go to the well one more time. Get it down to Keith Walskowski. No matter what you got to do, get him the ball.
Williams out top. Wants a timeout. Brian Gregory's going to call a timeout, and Flyers are going to talk it over.
Brian Gregory calls the timeout because the set play was versus man-to-man. Jerry Wainwright switches up and goes zone, and with Warren Williams in the game, sees the look on his face, he's called timeout, reset the offense against the proper defense.
There's going to be a full timeout. You know, each Flyer televised game on Channel 7, Mark and I picked the foreign exchange player of the game, and for the Flyers, we told you, it was Keith Walskowski, who so far has 19 points and about, 14 rebounds?
13 rebounds, his 9th double-double of the season, leads the Atlantic 10 Conference in that category and one of the leaders nationally as well. And right now, you've got to look to get the ball down to Walskowski as your A player, Finn as your B player, and then Mark Jones as your next guy to take a shot on inside-out basketball.
Next up for the Flyers is a game at UMass on Sunday. Flyers go to Amherst to take on the Minutemen on Sunday afternoon, and then our next televised game comes your way a week from tonight from Hawk Hill in Philadelphia. The Flyers against what should still be the undefeated St. Joe's Hawks.
Well, in UMass, you mentioned UMass. They were 0-5 to start Atlantic 10 Conference play. They've now won 3 in a row, so that's a hot ball club. Steve Lapis with Rayshawn Freeman, one of the special freshmen in this conference. He's just a big old stud down low that can score.
All right, here we go. 28 seconds left. Flyers with the ball trailing by 1. Warren Williams looking to get him into the offense. Williams penetrates the lane, kicks it to Walskowski.
He walked.
Traveling called on Walskowski.
Yeah, he switched his pivot feet right there. He caught it and switched from his left to his right on the pivot foot.
19 turnovers now for the Flyers, who have to foul. But you don't want to foul Scrocky. You don't want to foul Dobbins. They've got their free throw shooters in. You really don't want to foul any of these guys.
Yeah, all of them are about 80%, 75%, 85%. Tony Dobbins, 78%, will now step to the line as the Richmond Spiders, as they have done now for the last 4 games, have hung around, and found a way to get Scrocky into the flow late.
Monty Scott picks up the foul. It sends Tony Dobbins to the free throw line. He's 3 out of 4. Flyers will only trail by 3. If he gets them both, then he gets that first one with a nice little bounce.
Mike, again, Ramad Marshall's made so many big plays. And with him out of the lineup, it's a totally different ball club coming down the stretch.
Dobbins gets them both. Substitution into the game. Gaston Maliva comes in. 3-point game, 54-51. Richmond on top. Dayton with the ball, trailing by 3. 16 seconds left. Mark Jones coming in a hurry. Jones gets a high pick. He's going to pop up a long 3 and get it. Mark Jones. 5 seconds left. Dobbins to the bucket. Misses. Rebound. Walaskowski. We're going overtime. Oh, my. Mark Jones hits what you have to call a prayer. That one went way up in the air.
Great defense by the Richmond Spiders. A little on-ball screen. And Jermaine Buckner steps out as he should to challenge the shot. And Buckner at 6'6" outstretches, but Mark Jones just lets it fly and ripcords it from deep to send it to overtime.
Jones has 16 points now, but none of them bigger than that. There's timeout on the floor. We'll be back.